I'm going to expose one of the biggest secrets that the credit bureaus do not want you to know about. On today's episode, I'm going to expose a serious credit repair tactic that none of these amateur credit repair gurus on social media ever talk about because they don't really truly understand credit repair. They're just regurgitating information that they found somewhere and they just keep spitting out the same thing over and over and over again, hoping that you never ever notice. And people truly do not understand that you are up against a machine when you are working on your credit because you're up against eOscar. eOscar was built to speed up the process in the actual disputing process when you send a letter to the credit reporting agencies. eOscar is not a human being. A lot of people think that there's actual human beings at the credit reporting agencies that are opening up letters and reading them and saying, hey, look at this dispute letter. This is crazy. Let's fix this. No, it doesn't work like that. If that was the case, they would need millions of actual human beings to open up all these letters because they're getting thousands and sometimes millions of letters every single day of regular everyday Americans disputing negative and inaccurate items on their credit reports. So remember, like I said in other videos, eOscar only speaks Metro 2. Its job is to communicate your actual dispute and translate it to a Metro 2 code. Everything on your credit report is structured in Metro 2 format of reporting. It creates an ACDV form. That's called an automated credit dispute verification form, and it puts all of your information, your dispute reason, and then it creates some Metro 2 coding on it also, and it sends to the creditor or debt collector. And then the responsibility of the creditor or debt collector is to respond back with their reasoning, whether they deleted something, update it, and their Metro 2 coding. They send it to the credit reporting agency through eOscar, and then eOscar communicates that to the credit reporting agency, and that's how you receive your response in the mail. So in order to have a fair fight and a better chance of disputing any of these negative items on your credit report, you have to truly understand how the system works. And that is just a small piece of it, what I just told you. What I'm going to uncover has never been talked about on social media before because, again, nobody really truly understands how any of this works. There are people out there that will tell you, oh, a dispute letter is just a dispute letter. It doesn't really matter. They say that because they truly don't understand how the system works. And they want to convince you that this nonsense template letter that they've given out to millions of people is going to work, when in fact, template letters have become obsolete. Consumers truly don't understand that you cannot use the template letter with the same verbiage. You have to switch it around. You have to make it custom to your specific issue. And that's the reason why these actual template letters get circulated and abused, and then the system understands them and just kicks them back as verified. And the reason why everything gets verified is because of that one form, the ACDV, that is communicating back and forth with that Metro 2 code. Everything has a code that is attached to it. Your address, your name, all of these items have Metro 2 codes that match up in the verification system. So you have to track down those codes and you have to eradicate them, get rid of them. But how do you get rid of the codes? You truly can't get rid of all the codes. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it 100. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to find the items that are making the connection and allowing the system to verify it. Because remember, exactly like I said, that form is called an automated credit dispute verification form. It's trying to verify the information is accurate and complete. That's all that eOscar is trying to do. And that's why it creates that first form. That's where it all starts. So you have to attack the items that are connected to those collections and charge-off. There's something very interesting that's connected to every single one of them. Before we jump into it, you need to watch this till the end because there's going to be a second part to this that is very vital to your success in the credit repair process. Two very important parts that are making that verification happen, and you do not understand what they truly are. I've talked about it before on social media and it's gotten millions of views, but I'm going to give you the fast track on how to attack those two items. Those two items are your address and your actual name, but your address is the key because remember, when you apply for something, it's asking you for your address. When you have an account with another company, it's basing everything on your specific address. And people always say, well, why is the address so important? Because that has an actual code that is attached to it. Don't believe me? Let me show you. Now let's put this up on the screen so you can see it. This is directly from one of the biggest credit reporting agencies out there. I cannot state their name because we don't want them to trigger the actual algorithm. I'm not supposed to have this actual document, just so you know. Now be aware, pay attention. Let's zoom in on this part where it says address identification number. Right above it, it says addresses associated with your credit. You see how it says residency type, address, and then address identification number. Pay attention to that number. This is actually your, let's say, as an example, if this was you, this is your address identification number. Now, if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see that's Bank of America. That's an actual account, but look at the address identification number. It is exactly the same as yours. Every single address that's on your credit report is tying you to that specific account that's on your credit report. It's tying you to that specific negative item, whether it be a charge-off, collection, bankruptcy, whatever it is, it has an address identification number attached to it. Every single one of them, it never fails. Now, a lot of people will say, well, this is kind of not true because, I mean, they could just put an address and it just matches and they're done. No, the address makes sure no matter what happens, there could be a spelling error or whatever, it verifies in the system that this is actually and factually yours because it's accurate and complete per their standards. And that code is what ties to every single charge off and collection and why it's super difficult to remove from your credit report. Because if that address identification number is the only one on your credit report, guess what? They're going to be able to verify it every single time. And eOscar's job is to do what? Fill out that form, the automated credit dispute verification form. It's verifying for the system. So every time that it sees that number, it's verified. It's literally just that simple for eOscar to kick it back to you verified. So what we want to do is delete and remove any addresses that are attached to any collection or charge off or negative item on your credit report, because this is going to disassociate you from any of those negative items, making it harder for eOscar to actually verify the item. There are two very easy ways to do this. Well, actually three, but I'll get to the third one later. The first way is that you actually call each credit reporting agency and you speak to someone in the fraud department. And what you need to do before you even do this is update your address on your driver's license to be accurate and complete. And make sure that the address that those collection companies or charge-offs have on file do not match your driver's license. Last part's the most important. And then you're going to call the credit reporting agency and be the nicest person you've ever been. And you're going to tell them, hey, listen, man, I found some actual addresses on my credit report that are actually not mine. So could you please help me delete these from my credit report? I would greatly appreciate it. Now, TransUnion is going to be a complete HOAS and make this super difficult for you. Experian and Equifax is going to be very helpful. Sometimes Equifax is not so helpful also. But if someone doesn't want to do this for you, just be very nice and say, okay, well, thank you for all your help. I greatly appreciate it. Hang up the phone and call again and speak to someone else. Don't give up on the first try. That's what they want you to do. You call back again. This may take you up to 3 to 5 times, or sometimes people can get it done in the first swing and then they're done. And then your other option is to actually just send a very simple, basic letter to the credit reporting agencies stating, I found some addresses on my credit report that appear to not be mine. Can you please delete any of these actual addresses below? Here is my actual correct address. And then I have also attached a copy of my driver's license and utility bill to show that this is my accurate address. Please remove any addresses that do not match my driver's license or utility bill that I have supplied here. Then sign it, send it certified mail, or you can actually submit that dispute inside of the actual Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion online accounts. This is the only thing you should ever dispute inside of those actual electronic systems that they have created for you. And a special shout out to all my beasters out there that are using Dispute Beast, the most advanced DIY credit repair software ever created. Dispute Beast does this all for you every single round, attacking every name and address that does not match your driver's license or utility bill on file, because Dispute Beast understands that this needs to happen every single round. Link is going to be in the description if you want Dispute Beast, if you don't want to go through this whole process. Now, this may take 1, it may take up to 3, 4, or 5 rounds to just delete those addresses that are actually matching those collections or charge-offs, because the credit reporting agency is not dumb. They know what you're trying to do. They know what you're trying to accomplish. So don't give up and be so quick to be like, oh my God, it didn't work after one letter. Nothing ever works after one letter. Okay, I take that back. Sometimes it does always work after one letter. But people get just so discouraged when they don't get that deletion that they want after one round. You're gonna have to put in more work. It's just that simple. Credit repair is not an overnight process. Whether you're using my software, you're doing it on your own, you're using someone else to work on your credit, it's not going to happen overnight. So stop convincing yourself of that and stop lying to yourself. Put in the work and keep disputing. Here's the second most important part that you do not want to miss, that none of these credit repair gurus out there are telling you about on social media. Now you have to understand that this is not the only place where those actual addresses are at, right? Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion just seems so simple, like that's it, it ends right there. No, it doesn't end right there. And this is where other credit repair companies fail. This is where all these bootleg DIY credit repair programs fail. They don't go after everyone. They only go after the big three. If it was just that simple, it would be over way faster, wouldn't it? No, because these people are not eradicating it everywhere. And this is why Dispute Beast is just crushing everybody in the actual software industry, because nobody else wants to put in the work because these companies just don't care. So what you have to do when you're working on your credit, you have to go after all the secondary credit reporting agencies, not just Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, all of the other ones in the background that no one's ever talking about. Now you're asking me, now, which ones are those? I don't know who those are. I'm gonna give you the basics of all of the ones that you want to attack, because there are hundreds of credit reporting agencies that you do not know about, but I'm gonna give you the ones that matter the most. And before I go into that list, let me show you some more evidence, because as usual, I always bring proof. Now let's put this up on the screen right here. This is an actual collection company that is coming after somebody, and you can see at the very top it says Advanced Collection Burr. It was actually originally from some type of actual health visit. It's some type of medical debt of some sort, as you can see. But scroll down to the bottom right there, you're going to see right there it says address identification number. It ends in 0960. Now scroll down to the bottom to the one that they actually have on file, and it also says the same thing. The address identification number is 0960. And you can see how long I've been hanging on to this document for dear life, since October 2014, when the dispute was actually filed, as you can see right there on the screen, which is pretty crazy. I've been writing with these documents for a while because I knew this proof was going to come in handy when I had to show somebody that what I was talking about was in fact true. Now let's get back to the actual list. I'm going to shoot off this list, and I want you to pay attention to this list because it's very important for you. Now there's 9 of them, so that's a total of 12 different credit reporting agencies that you have to go after. So you go after Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion first, and then you go after all the secondary credit reporting agencies also. I'm talking about LexisNexis, also LCI Group, Innovis, ARS, Credco, Clarity, DataX, Microbuilt, and Factor Trust. Now the crazy part about all of these, a lot of these are actually owned by some of the big 3 credit reporting agencies. And you may ask yourself, but why is it completely a separate company? Because that's how they make money. They split these companies off so they can actually point the finger at that system, say, oh no, it was that one's fault right there. It wasn't us, it was them. It was them right there. That's really the real reason why they split them up. There's no other reason. Why would you not house everything in the same building? Why would you not do the same thing and offer everything under one roof? Because you have to segment it to reduce the liability. And this is super important as to why you want to go after all of these, because you need to eradicate that address identification number everywhere. You do not leave any stone unturned, because you leave it unturned and it becomes even way more difficult to delete from any type of credit report. And all you have to do is send them a very basic letter, exactly like I stated before earlier. I'm contacting you because I found some addresses that do not match my driver's license or utility bill that I have attached in here. Please delete any addresses that are not mine using this address right here, and then list all those addresses that are attached to all those collections that are not yours and it's not on your driver's license or utility bill. You send that letter, certified mail, make sure that you sign it, and then you wait 30 days, and then you repeat the process if you need to. But you must attack all 12 credit reporting agencies, not just the big 3. You want to go after all 12. If you don't, you're going to make this process even taking longer than you want. I'm not saying this is going to be a fast process if you send all these letters in one time, okay? So let's not go there. A lot of people are going to try to say that. No, that's not what I said. I'm telling you, you want to attack everywhere, every single round, because this is going to help you through the process. If you eradicate it everywhere, they can't verify it. It's just that simple. Like I said earlier, this is exactly why Dispute Beast does all of this, because we understand how the credit reporting process works. We understand how true credit repair actually works, unlike all these other amateurs out there. I hope you enjoyed this video. We covered a lot. We covered a major groundbreaking credit repair secret that nobody else is talking about. And of course, everyone is going to learn it from us. Now, make sure that you watch the next video because it is about another credit repair tactic that you may not know about. It has to do with charge-offs. If there's anything else specific you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments section. Show this video some love so the algorithm can pick it up and more people can learn about this important credit repair tactic. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.